Hi there. I'm sorry that this Monday update's coming out on Tuesday once again, but it's a busy week here at St. Spiridon's, and I'll get to the reasons for that in just a moment. As I open up this message to you, I want to remind all of you that our parish is doing its best to follow the directives it's been given by Metropolitan Isaiah and the local health authorities in the state. Here in Colorado, the governor did issue a mandate that anyone entering into a public space must wear a face mask if they're 10 or over. And locally, Larimer County Health has recommended anyone 2 or over wear a mask. The church is doing its best to communicate this information to all of you, the faithful, and also recognize the pastoral dimensions of such a decision by the health authorities. We do want you to register as you do on the Friday emails to come to services, letting us know that you'll be here. We're still in this opening phase of a reopening. And we do want you to be safe when you're here. We are, as I said, required by our bishop to follow not only his directives, but one of the things that he's asked us to do is follow local and state laws and directives regarding health and hygiene. So do your best here, wearing your mask when you come to the church. For those of you with little children, obviously, once again, do what you can. It's not easy with little ones, but no one's going to be necessarily policing you or watching over you, but do what you can to keep them safe while they're here in the church and worshiping with us. Don't forget that every Friday we're sending out an email to you updating you about what we're doing. There is a lot that we're doing to serve those in need. And you know about Panilla's Pantry, our feeding program in Ecuador. You know about our feeding program in Kisumu. Hopefully you're aware of the community kitchen efforts. And I erroneously stated this past Sunday that we'd filled all our spots for the year. That's not true. There are a number of spots left for you to volunteer and serve meals. You can sign up to do that with T. Kramer, Tcramer, at stspiridon.church. We'll also have a sign-up sheet for those of you who are attending liturgy. We are still offering the Eucharist to everyone on Sunday, whether you're able to attend the liturgy or not. We do have time afterwards where you can come and receive. Otherwise, we do have our services on Wednesdays and Sundays. For those who attend on Wednesday, there's always extra room. Check that online sign-up sheet 24 hours beforehand. If you see a spot, feel free to snatch that and come. Additionally, we are so thankful and appreciative for all of the stewardship offerings that you have given to our parish that allows us to continue to function. As we expected, those offerings are slowly declining as the economic impact of what's going on takes hold in people's lives. If you're still in a position to provide your sacrificial financial offering to the church, we encourage you to do that. Summer is always a slower time, but your offerings help us to continue the many, many ministries that we have ongoing. And we're looking at new ones all the time. Just this week, we're beginning a serious investigation how our facility can host families that have become homeless during this time. And we hope this will come to fruition, and we'll share more information about this once we do have it and once we've sort of gone through the details. Additionally, good news, I wrote a book, and I didn't know that I could do that, but I made my way through it. It was accepted by a publisher. It should be on shelves September 1. I hope that you'll all purchase it. I don't say that for any other reason than I think that this book will be an incredible aid to all who are seeking to work on their own spiritual life. I wrote the book, didn't look at it for about a year until it went into the editing process. I read it myself again, and I was almost like, who wrote this book? I really like what's being said here. The book's called A Toolkit for Spiritual Growth, a practical guide to prayer, fasting, and almsgiving. It'll be published by Ancient Faith Media and available on their store. It'll be available on Amazon, but I was told don't buy it on Amazon because the church receives much less of the royalties when we go to Amazon than if we were to purchase the book through Ancient Faith Media. Lastly, one of the reasons this message is a day late is we've, as I said, got 50 plus kids here for vacation church camp and all their workers each morning, and what a joy that is to have the church full. We filed a health plan with the local county health, and we've got hand washing stations between each rotation, and children and volunteers are all wearing face coverings, and we're being very safe with the children. But our theme is the armor of God, and so we're going through all of the different parts that St. Paul mentions in Ephesians about spiritual warfare, and the breastplate and helmet of salvation, the sword, the shield, the shoes, the belt. One of the reflection points that Gabriel McHugh wrote about in preparing materials is he wrote a concluding thought to this theme. For a soldier to carry all his armor and weapons into battle is a huge load. For modern-day soldiers, all this can weigh anywhere from 40 to 60 pounds. It takes great strength and endurance to just carry it, much less use them. To carry and use the armor of God is impossible for us alone. St. Paul instructs us to be strong in the Lord and in the strength of his power. He did not say, be strong in our own power. Jesus says in Matthew 11, take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and lowly in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. My yoke is easy and my burden is light. This concluding thought, I think, is important to us as we continue to face the challenges that are in front of us these days, and all of the things that have come up in life. And many of us may be feeling overwhelmed, anxious, angry, you name it. And perhaps we're feeling that way because we're attempting to solve all these problems on our own, as opposed to turning to God and asking him to come alongside of us. One of the ways that we do that is to start each day with even a short prayer, heartfelt prayer. Then throughout the day, when we face something, to stop for a moment and ask God to come alongside of us in that moment. When we encounter something that is unusual or hard or unexpected, we may reflect upon how God, and certainly in the person of Jesus Christ, worked through his own life and the challenges he faced, and apply those principles to the things that we are encountering and facing. To carry the load that each of us carries on our own is impossible. But to ask God to help us and to place some of those burdens upon him makes the impossible possible. And I would conclude with this. When we come into church, and we haven't been doing this right now, and I can't wait until we do once more, it is customary for us to light a candle. And when we light a candle in the church, we notice that when we arrive, the light is already lit. The candles that are in the candle stand are already lit, and we are receiving the light. We're not making the light. We're not generating the light. We're receiving it, and we're adding to the light that's already in existence. And so we receive that light from Jesus Christ, and as I mentioned in our sermon this past Sunday, we become light bearers ourselves by carrying the light of Christ. This is what we share with others. And as we enter into the church, having lit that candle, perhaps we left a prayer with God. We don't tie a string to that candle. Rather, we leave that prayer and that concern, that worry, that burden with God. As a parish priest, it's something I have to do all the time. I can't carry all the things that I encounter each and every day. Well, God bless all of you. We do have liturgy tomorrow. We had Bible study today. If you're not able to join us for Bible study, you can catch all of those on our website under the podcast archive or on our YouTube channel. And we look forward to seeing you this Sunday for liturgy. And we'll talk to you soon. God bless. Bye-bye.